When we think of water, normally we think of potable water, distribution, water in our households, getting water in our taps to satisfy our domestic needs, or for the commercial sector, for manufacturing, for industry, or for the tourism industry. So that's how we think of water, but we don't think of the resource itself. There are water-rich countries in the region where water isn't seen as a scarce commodity and thus not requiring the kind of treatment that other water-scarce countries would have. The Caribbean has recognized that we will have countries, or we actually have countries where water is a serious resource constraint. Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, and others where water is still a relatively abundant resource. Belize, the mainland countries of South America, Guyana and Suriname with the large rivers. Notwithstanding, whether there's an abundance of water or a deficit in some countries, water requires the same consideration across the entire spectrum, not only of the countries, but of the industries as well in any country. The recent experiences of some of the countries with extreme weather events and the damage caused to critical water infrastructure, I think is a telling point. What is well known as the Christmas trough of December 2013, an extreme rain event on Christmas Eve that hit the islands of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia and Dominica, resulted in tremendous damage to infrastructure. But not only roads and bridges and so on washed away, lives lost as well, but also damage to the water infrastructure. And I remember Hurricane Thomas in 2010 damaged the water infrastructure in St. Lucia to the extent that there were communities without water for more than 9 months following that event. In recent times, we've seen drought events in Jamaica and Cuba to the point where school reopens and kids don't have water to go to school and are asked by the authorities to carry water to school to help with flushing toilets and to help with the requirements. And that's how bad it is. And it's getting worse. And every year, this is a feature of our landscape. You would remember, or some of us might remember, the flooding events of 2013, I think it was in Belize, where agricultural fields were flooded to the point where farmers couldn't get to harvest cane for weeks on end. We think of tropical storms, hurricanes, and we always do a lot more preparation for the potential for wind damage. Yet water is a far more destructive factor in extreme weather events than wind is. And we've had the recent experiences with water flooding our agricultural fields, and farmers can't access the fields to harvest, whether it's cane, their crops, cattle, their livestock suffer as a consequence. Or we have extreme flooding events from extreme precipitation events that result in damaged infrastructure, bridges, roads washed away, pipelines washed away, requiring a significant investment on the part of government to restore to normal conditions. We don't have enough resources to actually address all the issues, the myriad of issues that we face in water resources management. And this is why instruments like the Green Climate Fund, the Adaptation Fund, and other similar financial instruments are so key and important to helping us address those issues. We will not have all the financial resources to invest in infrastructure improvements, to build resilience, to address our watershed management issues, or even distribution networks, and to enhance those and ensure that every individual has access to clean, potable, good quality water. When we think of the projections issued by the IPCC, and certainly in the last assessment report, AR5, the Caribbean will trend towards drier conditions. While we will have the very short, extreme, heavy precipitation events, we are going to be drier overall. The projections are it will be a drier region. So we need to plan from now to address the drier conditions. Already drought is a feature of the annual landscape of most of our countries in the region. We need to drive the interest in building resilience. We can only do this through a combined, collaborative effort. We must engage all the financial instruments out there, the global financial instruments. The Green Climate Fund is also one such facility that we provide the kind of support. But it's key for us to be able to treat this so we identify those resources. Overall, it is every single individual's responsibility to manage those water resources. But someone has to take the lead, and this is where organizations like 5Cs and the partnership with the Global Water Partnership Caribbean comes into play. in driving the collaboration, the cohesion among all those agencies to address water issues. And because it's cross-cutting, no single agency has a full responsibility for managing water resources. It has to be a collective approach. And this is why we're bringing all the various sectors together. Our entire development, all our countries, hinges on the availability of water.